Righty. Push the button.
There it is.
Okay.
Very good.
Look good.
All
Look good. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Alrighty. Let's get on with it, shall we? Hello, everybody. As a reminder, the Rabbit Hole Net takes place every other Sunday, with early check-ins being at 7 p.m. and the net beginning at 7:30. On the Rabbit Hole Net, we discuss all things prepping. We're operating from Studio D on the North Georgia GMRS network, and you can participate from any North Georgia linked repeater and Zello. Our repeaters are as follows:
The mighty flagship, Toccoa, Buckhead, Jersey, Noonan, McDonough, Lula, Zebulon, Peachtree, Watkinsville, Columbus, Rome, Ocala, White Oak, Fort Mountain, Lookout Mountain, Chattanooga, Mount Roosevelt, Case Cove, and our VoIP Zello link.
The North Georgia GMRS network covers roughly 41,000 square miles and growing. It's because of all of the members that makes it the largest repeater system in the United States, and we thank you all for that. We'd like to be nice here on the Rabbit Hole Net, so no cursing or politics. This is a family-oriented network, and we encourage you to get your family involved. On the following week, after each Rabbit Hole Net, a short video or a message will be posted on the North Georgia GMRS Facebook page to let you know what the next topic will be. If you have any questions or suggestions, please email us to rabbithole@nggmrs.org. Let me break. We'll be taking check-ins at this time. Please do so with your FCC call sign, your tactical unit number, your name, and general location. Again, if you're tuning in and don't have a membership TAC number yet, feel free to participate just using your FCC call sign. Net Control standing by.
And just want to let you know that we are live streaming. So if you would like to go to the Rabbit Hole, Lisa's website page, and watch us. Remember to like and subscribe. It does help the algorithm.
Yes, it does.
Net Control standing by for check-ins.
Net Control. This is WRTY 988, Toccoa 25, Rick in Westminster. Checking in, checking out.
Net Control, this is WRYZ 968, Randall in Buford. Check me in, check me out. I will be listening and watching on the YouTube stream.
I think that's
Have a
going
great
to
evening.
100.
This is McDonough 32.
McDonough
Check it out.
32.
Is
I knew Randall was.
WSBW 903, Roosevelt 17, Keith in Rockwood, Tennessee. Checking in, checking out, but monitoring.
This is Atlanta 255, WSAM 586. I'll be in and out tonight, but monitoring. Have a good night, guys.
Ed's checking in from YouTube. I'm going to put him in right here.
Okay.
This is Atlanta 104, WSAM 623, Brian in Social Circle. Have a great evening. Checking in, checking out.
You know what? We'll click the VoIP for YouTube stuff.
This is
Hold on.
This is Major Tom to ground control. Wrong line. WRKJ 453, Chattanooga 69. I don't know if you guys heard me a minute ago. Checking in, checking out. Big monitor.
That may have been the double we missed.
I got another one here to put in.
All right. Hey, Mark. Hey, Ed.
Oh, I have another one. Hold on. Oh, he's already in, isn't he? Oh, he's just saying hi on me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Yeah, go ahead and take that off there, and I'm gonna key up and
Go ahead.
here we go. All right. Gonna go ahead and read off who we have so far. Toccoa 25, Rick in Westminster, South Carolina. Is that enough? Gainesville 100, Randall in Buford. Recognize you do chicken or beef or something like that. You're preserving the broth off of that you can then turn and make into a soup or whatever else.
Okay, I think we're live now.
We are.
In the chat, let us know how it's going. Is it going okay?
I'm watching it on the phone.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so visuals. We can finally do visuals, which what I've always wanted to do.
But we got to reset.
Okay, reset. Fine.
All right, there you go. Now you can do it.
Okay, so as far as canning, I'm gonna save this one for last because it's one of my favorites. Okay, so you've heard me talking about canning meat and what we have here. And okay, first of all,
when we say visuals,
it's not pretty. Okay, it is not pretty. But you also have to remember, it looks exactly the same way in a can. Okay, you just can't see it through this, but you can see it through a glass jar. So this is taco meat. Let me get it up there. The light is messing with it. This is taco meat from 2021, and it is still perfectly preserved.
And what you're seeing at the bottom where it's solid, that's
a little bit of fat.
Yes.
That's a little bit of the fat from the meat. So, when it comes to canning, you can use the fat in canning. You can't do it in freeze drying, like I said before.
But that's ready to go.
It's absolutely ready to go. All you got to do is heat and eat.
Yeah. Well, actually, you don't even have to heat it up if you didn't want to. I mean, it's
Be
ready
better.
to go. It would be better.
It'd be better.
But it's ready to go.
So, all right, and this right here, everything I'm showing you is from 2021. This is mixed vegetables. Corn, carrots, peas, all beautiful colors still. Storage is everything, as I've said before. That's why it's still so pretty.
And you'll notice that the rings are off of the jars.
No rings.
And what's the reason for that?
Well, the reason for that is after you're canning, after the process is done, what you want to do is take the ring off as soon as it's cool enough to handle, of course. Because when you store it, if the ring is on it and that botulism spore may be in there. Now, this is rare, but we do this for this particular reason. If it's there, what's going to happen is, of course, you're going to get some spoilage. And the lid's going to kind of loosen up a little bit. And if you have any spillage, well, it's not good anymore. So all you have is a big mess to clean up rather than a hospital visit.
Pretty much a rule of thumb here, if anything, any food expands, it's bad.
Mm-hmm. And if the lid's on it, if you get the top of the ring, if it's kind of bowed out and you still have the ring on, okay, that's another indication, but sometimes they don't do that. So that's why we always take the rings off. And, it's still sealed.
So for the ones that are not watching YouTube, let me reset and I'll explain something.
Okay.
So when she was holding up the taco meat there, in all honesty, you can buy like this ground beef that's already in the can.
Yeah, I meant to grab one of those, but I couldn't find it. We were in a hurry because we just thought of it. Wait, we can do visuals. Okay.
But they also
Breakfast
have like
stuff.
ground beef in these sealed, almost like a tuna packet, that you can buy.
Well, it's in a can like this.
Yeah. But you can buy, and literally when you cut the lid off the can, it's going to look just like what's in the jar. It's just because it's glass, you can see through, and you're like,
Exactly.
ooh, that looks weird.
Exactly. So, and this one, now this is before I had my freeze dryer, I was using the dehydrator. This right here is powdered eggs from 2021. And they were dehydrated, and I ground them up in a little coffee grinder, put them in a jar.
Dehydrated?
Dehydrated.
Okay.
Yeah, dehydrated. With an O2 absorber, you can see that in there. And
What
vacuum sealed it with the food saver.
What size O2 absorber is in there? Is it
that one.
I think it's 100.
Well, usually there is a chart,
There is.
which I would love to put up here, but I don't know how to do that yet. But I'm going to learn. Usually, let's say for instance, like a small jar would call for a 100 cc. I always go a little bit higher than that, just to be sure.
Or go like 150, because you can get 100s, 50s, 200s,
300s. Yeah.
all the way up to 2000.
I think
The 2000s is what you would. Let me reset.
Okay.
The 2000s is the size you would need for 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah. But see, even that, I would use 2 or 3 of them, just to be sure. You know, safety. So that's powdered eggs. But in all honesty, the dehydrated things like this, the powdered eggs, it's all fine. But the dehydrated stuff takes a little bit more moisture to reconstitute than the freeze-dried stuff. You know, so, I do have 2 of them in there. See, I told you, I double up. I double up on them.
So, one of the things we've said before, that the canning is our preferred method.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. And like we've said before, anyone can get started doing that because literally you can go to Walmart and buy the canner. It's right there in the kitchen appliances with the coffee makers and things like that. They've got a big section of like ball jars and things. If you look at the bottom, and they usually have a couple of Presto canners. You can pick up one of those things for, I think the last time I looked them up, they were $79.
Yeah, they're less than $100.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You get that. You buy a couple of flats of jars. They come in a 12-pack. Make sure, and I'll just go ahead and say, just use ball. Buy ball jars.
Ball or Kerr.
Yeah.
And that's Kerr.
They're the most reliable we've found, and we don't want to use some of the other ones. But canning, it takes 75 minutes to
Well,
run.
it's 75 minutes for pints and 90 minutes for quarts.
There you go. And you could do this on a propane burner. You can do it on a stove.
I wouldn't recommend the glass top.
Right. So since we moved in, we have a glass top stove now. So now all of our canning is done on a propane eye that we do in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you can do these things anytime, anywhere. Let me reset real quick. Timer.
Mm-hmm.
So the good part about canning is that you can do that with no power.
True.
That's the best part about the canning.
True. Yeah, with dehydrating or freeze drying, you have to have power.
They're kitchen appliances.
And then, you know, a lot of things take hours and hours to process.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're running on a generator, I mean, depending on what you have running
The freeze
in the
dryer,
house, you know, it'll run the power.
yeah, and the freeze dryer is a
The freeze dryer
24-hour.
actually doesn't pull that much power.
It does it, but it's a 24-hour
But
process.
it is a 24-hour process.
Sometimes longer. So, okay, say you are in an extended power outage and you happen to take some wild game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having to worry about salt curing this thing or trying to air dehydrate it because you don't have a dehydrator, which there's ways you can do that too, you can now take that meat, put it in the jar, put it in a canner, and now you're preserving that meat with no power. Of course, you can say propane is a form of power, but no electricity.
Right, no electricity.
That's the
Or
best.
if you're lucky enough to have a smokehouse, which that would be really cool.
Well, yeah. So that's the reason why I like canning the best.
Mhm.
It is the SHTF friendly way to preserve your food.
Well, that is if you're planning on bugging in rather than bugging out, because these jars, they don't travel well, you know. But if you are bugging out, then I would recommend dehydrating or freeze drying, much lighter weight. Pack them in Mylar bags with an O2 absorber, and you're good to go. You just have to have access to water to reconstitute the product.
So with saying that, grab one of the Mylars over there.
Oh yeah. Now Mylars are not see-through, but
You get the concept of size.
so we did this in 2022. I'll get that in a second. 2022, and this is freeze-dried chili.
So what it is a Mylar.
Where's the camera?
It's a Mylar bag that is shaped similar to a mountain house or the backpacker's pantry or whatever.
It's working.
Okay, looking at the YouTube. It's a similar Mylar bag to that. So it's got a bellowed bottom. It stands up. You would open it up, and then
You just stand it up on whatever surface.
pour
Cut
your
it open. Pour your water in.
Yeah.
Hot water, preferably. And reconstitute it.
reset. And then that's the weight savings. So that's about
This is about 1 to 2 servings,
right.
but we made it ourselves. There's no preservatives in it. We know what we've got in there.
And that's homemade
So-
chili.
It's homemade chili.
That's not open a jar and put it
Mm-mm.
in the freeze dryer.
Although you can do that.
Yes, you can.
But
And
Yeah.
that weighs, I think, 4 ounces on the scale.
oh, yeah, this
So-
weighs. I just happen to have a scale here. It's great. This is 3.6 ounces.
And that's almost 2 servings of chili that you can take with you that is not temperature sensitive.
Yeah, you can carry this. This can withstand hot, cold, hot, cold.
And that's actually what I carry in my vehicle. For like the snowpocalypse, the weird situations, I carry mountain house meals in my truck.
Although I do have some things here. You want to reset real quick, just in case.
Go ahead.
So I have some things here that I have not put into Mylar bags yet. I just recently did these a couple days ago. This right here.
And if you're not watching YouTube now, you can go back and go through here and double check this. We'll actually figure out the timestamp and put it in there. It's 29 minutes. If you wanted to do a timestamp on, if you want to look at this later on, if you're not looking at YouTube now.
Okay. Or you can just fast forward until you get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so these right here are red potatoes. Now, I'll hold them up. I don't know if you can really see. Some of them have some of the brownish grayish spots, and that is error on my part, because when I was processing these, normally I put them in cold water to keep them from oxidizing, but some of them kind of creeped up on me. But that is a cosmetic issue. It doesn't mean that they're not good. They're still perfectly fine. These are freeze dried. So we did 50 pounds of those things.
And if you are looking for bulk potatoes, Ingles is your place.
They have 50-pound bags for $12.
Here recently the price has been weird. They've been ranging anywhere from 12 to 18. It's weird. It's like a weekly thing. It changes,
Mhm.
But if you want 50 pounds of potatoes, that's your place. Now, I say canning your food, excuse me, is the best way, in my opinion. Unless you're trying to make something to where it can be more portable or lightweight.
Reset.
Now, with the freeze dryer comes the cost of the freeze dryer.
Yes, but
And
it, in my opinion, it is well worth it. My favorite mushroom in the world is the shiitake mushroom. Simply because when you bite into it, it's the aftertaste that you're looking for, and it's just like this umami thing. It's just amazing. So I preserve these as much as possible, and you know, like I said, I haven't put them in milers yet, but you know, you can hear that snap. You know, they snap like a chip. So, you know, anything can be done.
So we've talked about canning. We've talked about freeze drying extensively. Now the dehydrating, it does take some of the nutrients out of
Yeah,
the
it
food.
does. It does.
But it is still a viable option.
Yeah, of course,
100%. You know, and with the dehydrator, that's where you get a lot of your seasonings.
Yeah, this is something that I did right before we moved. We had some. This is actually store bought. I bought this a long time ago, and you know, before I really started to wake up. You know, this is just some chicken broth base that we put into this smiler. This one's actually got a window. You can actually see what's in there. So I have a lot of my spices and things in these bags. We made a wall with some little hooks.
It's a pegboard wall.
Yeah.
Well,
pegboard.
the thing was, we realized we were buying bulk seasoning, and the little factory plastic tubes have got a piece of paper glued to the top of it, that the moisture would get inside it, and then it would cause it to cake up, and you would have to throw it away because obviously moisture is bad on anything.
So we just we split it up into these bags, and we just hang them on the wall, and the wall is fairly large, and I've got a lot of spices and different kinds of salts and things like that, peppers. So anytime we run out, we can just go grab a bag. So we're good to go.
Well, and that's the thing, spices. Having something to spice up your food is very important.
Yes.
Because we didn't want to put a lot of spices, salt, seasonings into some of the foods that we were canning. It's better to do that afterwards, because you don't know if you're, say you're having to give some of this food to a family member because they may be in hard times. Well, they may have an issue with salt or what have you. It's better to do that after the fact. Let me reset. It's better to do that after the fact. That way, hey, is this low sodium? Well, that's up to you. You get to put your own in there.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the reason why we've done a lot of this that way. It allows you to customize your food as you go.
So I'm going to play a game. I want to play a game.
Okay.
With the chat. Everybody in the chat.
The RF guys.
What does this look like? I'm holding this up for a reason and asking you to guess for a reason. I want you to guess what this is. Put it in the chat.
Okay.
I want you to guess what it is. The reason why I'm doing that is I just want you to know the possibilities of canning. And I'm not seeing any answers. Yes, it is a jar, but I want you to guess what's in it.
So,
well, I got to guess. Dry mustard, lard, onions.
So she's got a jar that we've done a long time ago, and it's something that we are very, very fond of.
Tallow.
Good
guesses.
She's holding it up to the YouTube channel for the ones that have no YouTube right now, and seeing what they could guess just by a visual. So it's changing a few things around on the rabbit hole net having the YouTube. It's allowing us to have a little better tool to have.
This is so much fun.
So, all right.
Okay, I don't think I got any more guesses. So we've got dry mustard, lard, onions, or tallow. All of those are incorrect. Where's the camera? This is butter.
What?
This is butter.
It's not just any butter. What kind of butter is
it? It is, well, it's not.
It's clarified.
It's clarified. You have to kind of like ghee. But this is butter. It's not like the what is it called? Country Crock or anything like that. No.
That's margarine. That is not butter.
Margarine is not butter. Is not good for you. Period. So this is just regular butter. It's one of those. I got it. It's, what is it called? It's Amish butter. So you know it's real, first of all. And I just melted it down and scooped all of the bubbles off the top of it, and what was left was ghee. And I canned it.
It is a sweet butter.
Doing it this way adds. I'll do a video on it one of these days, but it's like 10 times the butter flavor.
Reset.
Let's reset.
So doing this right here will allow you to take things and preserve them for long term.
Yes, ghee butter is very famous in India. Yes, Randall, you're right. Seen
With-
lots of videos. There's a YouTube channel called Grandpa Kitchen. They use a lot of ghee.
So with these jars, you can have these things for 25 years,
Stored properly, though.
stored properly, and cool, dark, not cold, but cool, dark is the key.
Here's another one. Not mine, of course. This is in a can. This is Yoder's Bacon. I'm sure some of you recognize the name brand. But I have canned bacon also, just like this. And now this particular brand, Yoder's, I would recommend it because
It's famous for being pure.
it is. Yeah, it's a good brand. You know, but potatoes. We've all seen them, sliced potatoes, whole potatoes, blah, blah, blah. Well, we can our own because in the ingredients here it says potatoes, water, salt, calcium chloride, a firming agent. Gee, that sounds great, doesn't it?
There's supposed to be just potatoes in that can. So here's what we were talking about, and what Justin was saying also. You know, if you preserve your own foods, you're controlling what is in that food.
You might want to share that recipe, Randall.
When you buy these cans, these factory cans, they put way too much junk, and it's junk. It's unnecessary things, and it's to preserve this food or to cut corners or whatever else.
Speaking of Randall, real quick, reset for a second. Where did it go? Oh, I'm giving a shout out to Randall Gainesville 100.
I'm not pedaled. Go ahead.
I'm giving a shout out to Randall Gainesville 100. He gave me this shirt at the barbecue. He got this when he went to the Philippines. Thank you so much. I really love it. This is really sweet of you. Thank you so much.
All right. So we went through jarring, canning, dehydrating, freeze drying. Now let's see what
Well, let's
the audience is
see if
thinking.
anybody's got any questions or comments.
So first on our list is Noonan 119. No, sorry, Atlanta 33. Tony in Lawrenceville. Didn't know if you were in or out. Tony, you got any questions or comments about ways to preserve food?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm fortunate enough to have grown up with grandparents and great-grandparents. They lived in South Fulton, had a little farm. They were all poor as a church mouse. And I watched them grow and can food. My great-grandfather had a smokehouse. He smoked a lot of meat. And I wasn't really old enough to watch him do much of that, but my grandfather carried on a little bit. And it just seems like what's old is new again. My wife, Atlanta 34, still does some canning the old-fashioned way. And, we kind of preserve ourselves, but just fascinating listening to this. When you talk about this kind of stuff, because I grew up watching it because it was a way of life.
Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. It was a way of life. If you didn't do this, you went hungry. And you're also right that this is kind of considered old-fashioned, and it is old-fashioned. But the younger people, they don't really understand it. They don't understand the importance of it. In other words, they think, well, I'll just go to the grocery store.
Well, people consider this to be prepper stuff. Well, in all honesty, like you just said, it wasn't prepper stuff back then. It was a way of life.
The word prepper didn't even exist.
It didn't. So I've said this before. Until certain TV show about preppers came out,
Yeah, which
it ruined.
gave some of us a bad name.
Yeah. If you didn't split wood, you froze to death. If you didn't preserve your food, you starved to death. If you didn't grow your own, you had to buy it. Well, if you were making barely any money, you couldn't go out and buy it. So it's not a new concept.
Mm-mm.
It's actually getting back to some original
Getting back to
roots,
basics, really.
Because it's not something new. We're resurrecting an idea that was necessary 100 years ago,
Mhm.
sometimes less than 100 years ago.
Mhm.
So, Tony, do you have anything else?
Not other than, as far as parents went, they had a cast iron potbelly stove in the living room, and
Mm-hmm.
we cooked on that, and
Dual
they had
purpose.
the well, the hand dug well, and
Mm-hmm.
of course the old outhouse and
Mm-hmm.
the slot jars and that kind of thing. And I went camping, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and they actually had an outhouse, and I thought, darn, I hadn't used one of them in about 55 years. But anyway, I just enjoy the show. Just like to put my little 2 cents in sometimes.
Well, we like the 2
Like I
cents.
said,
We
it's
love
nice
it.
to meet both of y'all yesterday. I'll clear on out of here.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's amazing how fast we get away from what brought us here.
Well, it's the convenience.
Well, it is.
Everybody is so complacent that, like I said before, well, we've run out of whatever. I'll just go to the grocery store and pick it up.
Well,
And for the most part, that's been true for a very, very long time.
well, it's also a loss of knowledge.
That too.
And you can say this about radios. If we don't keep the spirit alive,
Mhm.
the
The radio dies.
the hobby, the spirit of it dies. And that's why it's important to get youth involved. But the same thing goes with this. If you stop doing this, I know there's some people will always do it, but if you're not spreading that information out there and getting people interested in doing it, and also understanding why, it's not just doing this for a hobby, although you could. It's a hobby that can save your life.
Mhm.
for
Emergency communication. If you don't have a cell phone handy, or cell phones go down, landlines go down. Landlines can go down.
or having the food to when there's no food at the grocery stores.
Well, and that's what I was saying about the complacency about, everybody's so comfortable with just going to the grocery store and picking up some more. But, and we've had shortages,
Yes.
And people freak out about it.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have to freak out if you had some in your
Well,
pantry.
Well, in all honesty,
Extra,
during the whole the beer bug thing that went around, and we had all these grocery store shortages,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't mind. Excuse me, let me reset. We just went to our storage. We had our own store.
Yeah, a lot of it is stored down in the basement, and that's kind of Seth's domain. So when I say I need to go get something, I say I'm going down to Seth's store to go shopping.
That or go to our chest freezer or things
Mhm.
like that. So it's good to have that stuff around. So thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. And like it is a dying art, but
No, it's not dying on my watch.
well, not on our watch. So, all right, next on our list is Noonan 119. Jim and Noonan, you got any questions or comments about ways to preserve food? Uh-huh. All right, we're gonna take that as a no. Here we go.
Call it again.
Noonan 119. Jim, are you there? We heard a little bit of we seen Noonan light up. There we go. He's still talking.
Too bad I can't hear him.
I know. And I don't know if he's not talking or.
No, he was. I could hear him
No.
talking.
I
I just couldn't.
don't know if he's still talking.
No, he's not.
Here we go. Newton 119, Jim, you had a hard copy, was losing the repeater. We couldn't understand you. We heard some words, but couldn't make it out. If you could try and improve your location and we could come back to you towards the end of it, we'll call back on you again. So, sorry, we just couldn't pull you out of the static there. Next on our list is Atlanta 191. James and Holly Springs. You got any questions or comments about ways to preserve food?
I did. I thought it was interesting that y'all showed some of the stuff in jars, and I know a lot of it is canned in a jar. Is it possible to can in a can, and is that better for keeping things in the dark and not letting light penetrate and mess with it?
There we go. That's Jim.
Yeah,
it is. Hold on. So actually, yes. So
you know something I don't about canning?
Well, there are canners that you can do in metal cans, but it takes a lot more equipment to do that. That's the ones that are large industrial sized canners that are on hinged. Remember the canner that we stopped at to get the jars?
Oh.
It's the large canners.
That canner was about as big as this room.
It's very large. There are ways to do that, but for in the house, I know that it's simpler to do the glass. But yeah, the cans that are stored like that, yes. You look at Mountain House and
It can be done.
And some other ones, they actually sell the number 10 cans of freeze-dried foods. And they will last longer for long-term storage instead of just the pouches. And you'll get a number 10 can. It'll say 85 servings of eggs, but yes, you can do that, but it's probably be cheaper to buy that type of food preserved than to do it on your own. Do you have anything else, James? It's Jim.
No, we were talking to James.
I know. We call him Jim.
We need to get back with him and see if he improved.
No. It's two different guys.
I know. Jim was staticky, remember?
I know. Atlanta 191. James, you still there?
Yes, I was wondering if you do it in the jar, does it still need to be kept in the dark?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Cool, dark, and dry is the golden rule.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The number 10 cans will keep the light out of it, but the jars are what we can do at home, so we just store them in the dark.
Hey, copy, appreciate that. Also, just wanted to know if you saw my note in the chat just below Randall.
Oh. Well, I haven't. Oh, let's see. It'll help if I push the pedal. I just did notice that, and
We'll just keep on rolling.
we're gonna keep on going because that's what we do. Is we're good at ignoring.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, appreciate that. All right. Next on our list is Chat 248, Matt in Polk County, Tennessee. You got any questions or comments about ways to preserve food?
Yes, sir. Good evening. I got about 3 different things. First thing is no hate toward my Polk County, Georgia folks.
What do you say?
No hate to Polk County, Georgia.
Because we don't get it till sometime Tuesday morning up here. Second thing I had was a lot of people don't realize, which me included. I remember when I was a kid, some of the old folks used to can fish, specifically the smallmouth buffalo fish that ran up the rivers up here, which was in this area, Conasauga, Ocoee, Hiawassee, but they also come up the Chattahoochee, I think. But they're unregulated and basically snag them, net them, whatever, and they would clean them and can them and make like salmon patties out of them after they're canned. They'll keep for a long time. Let me break. And third thing I had was I mentioned back in November on another rabbit hole net, the wife had water glassed some eggs back then, and we still haven't opened them. They still look good. Kind of itching to do that. I'll let you know here in the next month or two if they made it through the winter or not. They're a cool decoration on the counter. If they did work, we're going to do that with some more. And I'll throw it back to you. I appreciate what you're doing. Chattanooga 248, WSFT 846.
How did you say they were processed?
What?
The eggs.
The water bath, or water glassing.
There you go. Well, Matt, that's one thing we have not.
I have not done, but that is on my list to try and can up some fish and shrimp, because you see it in the store all the time in these cans. And my thing is what I always say is, if you see it in the store in a can, chances are you can put it in a jar. So I just haven't ventured that way yet. So, but I am going to one of these days.
And that's exactly. So
and do let me know how those eggs turn out as far as the water glassing.
Right. One of the things is with Lisa is she'll walk around a grocery store and she will point out, I can make that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can make that better, or I can make it more healthy.
Mm-hmm.
She'll look at some of the seasonings and things like that, and then perfect it. So that's when we started jarring things. That's how we started doing the meats, the pork, the chicken. And then she starts hitting YouTube and finding out, oh, I'm not the only one.
Well, when I first learned how to can meat, that was, okay. Because at that time, the stores were giving off these stupid sales, for stupid prices. So I would load up and I would practice what I had learned on some different YouTube channels. Of course, I watched and did my research first, of course, and figured out how to do all that. So I would buy in bulk and can it up, and there's nothing like it.
And the rest is history. So, all right. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, keep us up to date on what's going on with those eggs. I'm curious myself. Next on our list is Chat 260, Colt and Dalton. You got any questions or comments about ways to preserve food?
This is Chattanooga 260 WSTM 494 from downtown Dalton, Georgia. Yeah, I can tell you one thing. This is not my skill set. So knowing what I bring to the table, medical, comms, other things, I realized that I'm going to have to find someone on the team to get on the bus to handle this. I do not know how to can. Chattanooga 248, though, up in Polk County, they've got some weird things going up there they can't. You also, if you hear banjos in Polk County, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but you should run. That's all I have to say. This is Chattanooga 260 WSTM 494.
Go ahead.
Well, Colt, the whole thing about hearing the banjos are running, you don't have to be the fastest, but you don't want to be the slowest. So,
Colt, canning is so much easier than you think.
It is. So here's the thing. I was kind of in the same boat as you. I would take care of other sides of preparedness while Lisa would do the food items. And it's not uncommon for me to get in over my head and go buy another one of those 50-pound bags of potatoes. And Lisa looks at me and says, have fun with that. because I've been known to do that twice. So
Making me do all that.
here I am blanching, 50 pounds of potatoes and doing all of that fun stuff and getting the canners running.
That's basically how he got the gist of it.
That was it. I was like, okay, baptized by fire here.
Hey, you don't know how to swim? Guess what?
But here's the thing. She has it all written down on notes, and we can get that out there. We can post up her sheet or she can type it in or whatever else of the requirements for canning meats and potatoes and things like that with times, all for the canners. And then it's just doing it.
Let's reset. I think let's reset.
So it's all about just learning something new.
Well, a lot of times people get confused because of the difference between water bathing and pressure canning. There is a big difference. If you water bath something that's not supposed to be water bath rather than pressure can, you're running a risk of making yourself sick or making others sick, because the pressure canner is for low acid foods. The water bath is for high acid foods. So big difference there. So.
All right. Well, Cole, and please do, if you've got any questions, if you need some help learning any of this, reach out to us, man. She was teaching somebody how to can through text messaging.
It's that easy.
To someone in North Carolina.
It's that easy.
I mean, seriously, she was like, oh, you do this, you do this. They would take pictures, send them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we get a picture with a batch of jars that are ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look what I did. So test yourself, Colt. That's what it's all about, man. Furthering that education. Next on our list is our guest, WSGV 983, Jim in Walhalla, South Carolina. Jim, do you have any questions or comments about ways to preserve food? I'm going to let you take this one.
Pretty good. Jim in Walhalla, you still out there? Alrighty, negative contact. We're going to go on to Atlanta 104, Brian in Social Circle. Brian, you have any questions or comments?
Good evening, Atlanta 104, WSN 623. No, I did learn something new this evening about taking the rim or the lid, not the lid, the rim off. I had never seen that before, but it makes a lot of sense and it's some good information. Really don't have anything tonight other than maybe you guys could send some recipes of a beef stew. Have a good night.
Who was that?
Brian 104.
Hold on. Well, actually, Brian, so we found that out kind of late in the game too, about needing to remove those rings. So
I did find that out late in the game, and we had a lot of them to do. But luckily,
what even if she's like, well, when are you going to remove the rings from the jars? And I'm like,
what?
From which one? She goes,
all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing. We didn't know it either, and now we have these very large totes full of nothing but rings. And I don't think we need that many. So,
but I just thought of an idea for them, but we'll get to that.
But glad you're having that oh really moment like we did. So, all right. Next on our list is Atlanta 557 Ed in Kennesaw. Do you have any questions or comments about ways to preserve food? we're going to go back to 119, 119,
Oh,
Jim.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Well, he was on Zillow. Give him just a second.
Was he?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Well, let me get these.
All right. Well, I wasn't sure if Ed was in or in and out, so we got places at the end just in case. Next on our list is Noonan 40. Orestes. I hope I said that right. I got it right the first time because I said it right after you. You got any questions or comments about ways to preserve food?
So here, I don't have any questions, but where can how do I see you? Do you have a website or Facebook or something you use?
Yes, sir. So we are on the North Georgia GMRS Facebook page, and you can find us. It's Lisa and David Lummis, Dallas 20, Dallas 21. You can find us on that page. Send us a friend request or an instant message, and we can get to you that way. Or if you've got any questions, we do have an email address that you can send us any questions, and that is rabbithole, one word, rabbithole at nggmrs.org. And both of us get that email. And if you've got any questions, and then that way Lisa could actually attach some of her instructions, directions, what have you, and email them directly to you instead of having to go through Messenger and all that good stuff. So, is that what you're looking for?
Sir, that'd be just great, sir. That's the information I was looking for. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Look forward to talking to you. And like I said, she's got this master 3-ring binder of it's a cheat sheet. I mean, she's got every temperature, time for canning, dehydrating, freeze drying, recipes. She's got it all in there. That includes medical tinctures, home remedies. She's got all this, and I keep telling her that we may need to try and get this book out there, but it would take a lot to copy these things. So, all right, next on the list we had a guest. We actually had the call sign, but for some reason I didn't get the name. WSIA 253. WSIA 253. Are you out there? Will you give us your name and we can put you in here? And if you have any questions about ways to preserve food or canning or dehydrating.
Net Control Atlanta 374 was a question.
Go ahead, Atlanta 374.
Yes, sir. My wife, I had the radio on my hip, and the wife heard something about the recipe book, and she was wanting to get that email one more time.
Okay.
I mentioned your 3-ring binder.
I was answering.
I know that. I know that. But I mentioned your 3-ring binder.
Okay.
I didn't say about a cookbook. Hold on.
Oh no, it's okay. She probably wants to know something certain.
Right. Well, Lamar. So I mentioned her 3-ring binder for all her stuff that she has, and I don't know if she has that in a digital copy that could be sent.
I don't.
So we might be able to take a few little inserts out of it if you need something, if you're interested in something, and send them your way. But we are seriously trying to figure out a way to get this thing digitized. So, Lamar, anything she's interested in?
Well, she is getting into we're going to try to water glass this year and the tinctures. And I'm interested in, because I'm trying to grow about 400 pounds of potatoes. I can dry store those in trash cans. I've seen that done. But all that stuff, yes.
Cool.
Oh, that sounds
I
awesome.
love it.
All right, so that email address is rabbit hole, one word, rabbit hole, at nggmrs.org. Just send us a message saying, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and she'll work on getting some of that stuff sent out. And I'm telling her, hey, you're going to be sending this out to a whole bunch of people.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
But no, yeah, let us know,
But
because
that's only on camera.
the tinctures and things like that
You didn't get it.
are awesome. Right now, we haven't been getting allergy. I normally get hit really hard during pollen season. I'm not getting anything about it unless I'm out cutting grass and getting
It didn't bother me at all.
extra amount. We've been doing garlic infused honey.
Yep.
And it is so simple.
I've talked about it so much, I feel like
Spokesperson for a commercial.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like that, but it works. Well, for me, it does.
It does. And she's got all that written down. So if you're interested in it, hit her up on that email address, and she'll send you the instructions on how to do that. But appreciate that, Lamar. Yeah, just shoot her the email, and we'll get you what you need. All right. Well, that actually brings us to the end of our list, and I think we're going to go ahead and ask for a late check-ins, questions, or comments. Net control standing by. I think my PTT button is crapping out.
Really?
Yeah.
comment.
Jennifer.
It keeps on like.
Atlanta 255. Go ahead, Jennifer.
I didn't know you were.
I'm sorry.
Just want to know when I can buy the book on Amazon.
Sorry.
Never. It's not really a book. It's just, I put things together and I categorized it, and there's like camping recipes and stuff like that in there, but I do have a lot of canning times and water bath and pressure canning times and things like that. But whatever you have a question about, send me an email and I'll see if I have it in my binder. And it's okay. And one way or another, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out an answer.
Yeah, we may see what we can do with that. There's actually a way to run these things through the scanner and digitize them. I just don't know.
Yeah.
How large it would be as a file to send. So. But we'll see what we can do. And worst case scenario, we might be able to what you're interested in, and then we can take that section and make a copy of it and get it to you somehow or another. So
one way or another.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
Well, okay then. I have no doubt. I know you've answered plenty of my silly questions in the past, so appreciate what you guys are doing, and just know that I'm sure there's several people out there with their checkbooks ready if that book were to become available on Amazon. Back to Net Control.
Well,
you're sweet, Jennifer. You're so sweet.
I didn't even think about it when I mentioned something about her 3-ring binder with all the information. And in all honesty, if Lisa would have heard someone else say that, she would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
How do I get a copy of it? So, but yeah, we'll actually see what we can do. Like, she has nothing else to do at all. Right?
No problem.
So, any more questions, comments, or late check-ins? Net control standing by.
Chattanooga 248. One more comment.
248. Where's he?
Matt.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Atlanta 849 with comment and question.
Get Matt first.
All right.
I got.
Here we go. Chat 248. Go ahead, Matt, and Pamela, you're next. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I was, first of all, as far as that 3-ring binder goes, I do have an Acrobat Pro license and happy to help you all out with that and it in.
Okay.
The second thing is I feel a little dense, but I could not find y'all live on YouTube. Can you help me out with that?
You got that?
You should be able to just find it. The name of it is the Rabbit Hole. I've seen others on there, but if you can't find it tonight,
Are you on? If you're on Facebook, go to where Lisa made the Rabbit Hole announcement. I put the link to the the link to the YouTube channel.
It's in the comments.
In the comments. And if you're not on Facebook, it's actually got a circular picture of the Rabbit Hole established July 2022 as
That's the
logo.
Thumbnail.
Thank you. So, but yeah, if you're on Facebook, you can go find it in the comments for that, and we can actually repost that if needs be.
Okay, right on. Yeah, I was looking at the NGGMRS YouTube channel. Couldn't find it there, but I will look where you suggested. I appreciate it. And again, my office will send you the shoe.
Yeah.
I've got need of it. Happy to help you all out. I can send you an email if you'd like.
So go ahead and grab Pamela.
Appreciate that so much, Matt. I might just have to reach out to you. Absolutely. Let's see. Pamela, you had a comment. Go ahead with your comment.
Well, good evening, guys. I was finally able to have my radio get back on here, get connected. But I was glad he asked about the link because does it go straight to that, or do you have to be set up for YouTube or anything? I'll let you comment, and I have another question.
You should be able to just as far as the link that Dave had put in the comment from the post.
You shouldn't need an account to watch it.
You shouldn't. I wouldn't think
YouTube's
so.
weird. I've already got one, so I don't know if they've changed things because I've had it for so long.
Yeah.
But when you click on the link, there shouldn't be anything there that you have to sign into. It should take you right to it. It'll probably ask you, do you want to do this? No. Do you want to do this? No. And it'll take you right to the video. It should take you right to the video.
If not, I mean, you can. It's free to sign up. So and my account is not monetized, so I don't have those annoying ads. So yeah, go ahead with your second question.
Okay, link. I'm thinking about bread. What is your best thoughts about how to preserve bread or something, or to do with freezing, or what would you say to that?
You make it fresh.
Yeah. Where am I at? Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm back. As far as preserving bread, there's really not a safe way to do it. There's just too much room for, and here's the thing: a lot of people that I've seen on YouTube, you're gonna find some weird videos when you start looking this up. There's gonna be some that say you can water bath everything. Please don't fall for that. Same goes with bread. The best way to do it is either make it fresh or freeze it.
And I love bread. I do, and the best thing is to store the ingredients and do that. And in all honesty, unless you have a wood stove or another way to make bread loaves, you're going to be eating a lot of like pita style or tortillas,
Flatbread.
flatbread.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be the easiest because you can do it on a frying pan over a fire or.
Well,
on
you
the
can
stove.
make a loaf of bread
You
in a
can.
Dutch oven
You can. No,
over the fire.
absolutely, you can.
Just got to baby it, but you
Yes.
can do it.
You know, so but yeah, storing bread, even
Mhm.
freezing it. Now what I've been learning now is when you freeze bread, if you want a couple of hamburger buns, you would take them directly out of the freezer and like put them right on the grill or a pan with some butter and go ahead and toast them. If you let them thaw out, they'll get mushy and then instantly hard.
Mm-hmm.
But just toast them up and they'll be fine. But again, that's in a freezer.
Okay, well that's a good idea. Straight from the freezer to the pan. That makes sense because yeah, I know it does get doughy. But anyway, okay. So I want to say it was great seeing y'all out there yesterday, and what a great day we got with the weather. And I'm glad I got a chance to hear it tonight. So I'll just turn it back over to y'all. Thanks.
They're the ones.
Oh, we absolutely had a ball. Absolutely had a ball yesterday. My other than getting to see everybody, my second favorite part was being the rabbit hole taxi. And to whomever, because I don't remember everybody, but whoever allowed me the pleasure to give you a ride to the event, I thank you for choosing the rabbit hole taxi.
And one quick thing, Lamar just put in here, Pamela. I just had it. It's on YouTube. Just type in the name, and he says it'll take you directly to it. So that right there is the space rabbit hole. I'm sorry, the space rabbit space hole. It's not all one word. It may work if you type it all in one word, but I don't know. So, net control, we're going to be asking for.
Wait a minute, I've got some.
Oh, you got some more. Well, you can do that, and I'm going to ask for these.
I'm just going to acknowledge the ones that we have in YouTube. Atlanta 374, I think we've already.
Yep.
Lamar. And, oh, you already got those.
Huh?
You're quicker than me. All right, anyway.
So we have Atlanta 374 Lamar from Dawsonville and Atlanta 375.
Let me delete that.
And Tanya in Dawsonville. Glad to have you with us and appreciate you hanging out with us and listen to us ramble. Net control standing by for late check-ins, questions, or comments.
We are all over the place with this log.
Well, this needs to be deleted. Pamela needs to delete that.
All right. I'll take that off.
Yep.
So we've already got her in there already.
Correct.
This is Tacoma 32. I've got a check-in, and I've also got a quick question for you.
You got that?
Tacoma 32.
Yep. All right. Tacoma 32. Terry, what's your question?
Was he on Zello?
Yeah. So give him a second.
This might be a little bit off subject, but I hear y'all talking about dehydrating, and it got me thinking about something I love a lot. It's just beef jerky
Beef
or
jerky.
deer jerky. Just wonder if y'all had any tips on that, or if you've got a good recipe for the brine or whatever in your big, beautiful country that you have.
I don't have it with me.
I know. Well, Terry, I got a question for you. Are you on the North Georgia GMRS Facebook page?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
All right. I know you're on Zello, so that's why I'm leaving that long pause there. What we'll do, I'm sorry, what Lisa will do
is write it down.
She'll get to it. Yes, she does have a beef jerky recipe. And then you can take it to one extreme or the other. You can take the spices
Well,
out
I've
of it.
got several recipes.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I will tell you, and I learned a long time ago, is when you're, I don't know if you've made it before, but it sounds like you have. you don't want to over process it because then it turns into like a chalky. Yeah, you know, you don't want to over process it. That's one of the things that when you dehydrate jerky is you want to leave
a little bit of moisture.
Tiny bit of moisture in there, so it's it's pliable.
You need to monitor it and make sure that it's at the crispiness that you want. Is the best way to put it. You can dry it out to the point that it is dust.
Yes.
Versus having actually good good jerky. Just a dehydrator. And for name brand, what we've had, and we're again not affiliated with them at all, we use the Excalibur dehydrator because it is a commercial grade. It is designed to run 24/7, in which we do keep it and have had it running for that long. But I'm pretty sure that some of these other ones, like the larger ones that Cabela's Bass Pro Shops that sells, will do just fine also. Just be aware of some of the smaller round ones.
Yeah, the round ones. We went through 3 of those. Now they're very inexpensive. They'll work when
They're
you're
okay.
just getting started. If you're just getting started dehydrating, but you can definitely overwork those things because I did it 3 times.
Yeah, they're designed for the occasional thing, not wide
Yeah,
open.
not wide open 24/7.
So, Terry, do you have anything else? I know you sounds like you're mobile.
Were they in and out?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
No, that's perfect. I thank you. I've made it a couple times. I've used my, I've actually put it on the smoker, just keep it at a real low temperature and smoke it for 4 hours or something. It turned out real good, but I'm always looking to improve.
That's our next thing.
Mm-hmm.
The vertical smoker.
Yeah, and bacon. Very cool. You gonna answer?
We're working.
Oh, I didn't know he was.
I was putting pressure on the PTT because I thought he was still going. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Yes, sir, Terry.
Yeah, I'm gonna be posting some beef jerky recipes, and that'll be fun.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, appreciate that, buddy. Be safe out there. Let's go with last round. Last round of late check-ins, questions, or comments about ways to preserve food.
Ways to preserve food. Oops, left my foot on the pedal.
Chat 248. Can I try my comment one more time?
248. Go ahead, Matt.
Like YouTube video, the one that was talking wasn't me. I was just going to say that on that canning of fish deal, I had wanted to try it for many years. They only run up the river, in the spring to spawn, and we put together 1 canner full, which ended up being 8 fish, made 7 quarts of fillets. Canned those. We opened one afterwards, made salmon patties out of them, and I'd call them probably a 6 out of a 10, but they'd sure be going hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And let me break.
Yeah.
That's it.
The fish weirs and the Coosa River system, and up here also on the Tennessee Hiwassee River system, were primarily for the springtime fish that ran. The fish weirs a fish trap built by the Native Americans for folks that never seen one. But anyway, they're just something that people don't think about anymore. Trying to get back into it. I think I'll do it again next year based on this outcome. It's just another source of protein, and it's free. You got the time to do it. That's all I had. Chattanooga 248.
Go ahead.
No, flagship keyed up. I hit the pedal at the exact same time.
Okay. That's good now.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I think we are going to try our hand at some.
I really want to try the shrimp. Try doing shrimp.
Yeah.
I
mean, it should be. A shrimp only takes like a minute and a half to finish on the grill.
Yeah, I know.
So I just don't know how the 75 minutes. We may have to adjust it.
No, I don't think shrimp would be 75 minutes
I don't think so either.
because some things are just because it's a pint and I say it's 75 minutes. Most of the time that's meat, but
Well,
you know,
now-
like beef or chicken. You know.
Well, we
I'm-
got something to try this time.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, and you know, if you're going fishing, it gives you something else to do too. I just can't find time to go fishing. So,
well, that's all we have on our list here.
all right.
So
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, I think that's gonna. Well, you know what? I did see it key up, light up right here. Let me see if someone else had a comment real quick.
Make it up on flagship.
Yeah. Net Control sent him out for comment or late check-in. Last round. All right, here we go. All right. Well, that answers that. May have been something like I've done. Put the PTD back on the hanger and actually hit the button.
All right.
Net Control, got a comment.
My pedal was not working.
Really?
Yeah.
Net Control, I think I double with Atlanta 248. This is Atlanta 849.
You're going to have to take it.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Someone on the Toccoa repeater had a comment. Go ahead.
Net Control, this is Dakota 25. I touch base on canning on everything except dry canning. It's something I've been doing here for about 6 months with my coffee. It's actually lasted longer, tasted fresher, and it was like $20 on Amazon.
dry canner?
This is a dry canner. Is that what you said?
That is correct. It's a vacuum canner. I've also used hand warmers out hands from the electrics out to reseal dry cans.
Oh.
Temperature needs air, runs out of air, seals what it is. That double the moisture barrier.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a vacuum sealer for jars.
Off of the food saver?
You can do it like now. You can only use it for dry ingredients.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about off the food saver?
Well, he's talking about a dry canner, but
I know.
yeah, I haven't seen. I usually use the food saver. Which one are you talking about?
This goes directly on the plate or the cord that kind of unscrew it a little bit. USB plug on the top. All you do is put it on the top. Jar without the ring. This ring, or no ring, lid, with the lights on it. Gets what?
Oh, okay. We're looking that up now, and it looks like that's one that you can do.
It operates the same as so on the
So you can use.
on the food saver. They actually have a port where you can plug a hose into it, and it's got a piece that goes on top of the jar that acts just like that, where it will vacuum seal.
But this one now, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to make sure I'm talking about the right one. Is this one you can use it for wet ingredients as well,
This is for fermentation.
Oh. or for fermentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to look. What name brand are you using? Let's do it that way.
Yeah. Back out of that.
Yeah.
Branded. Round device, 4 inches tall, 4 inches round.
Sounds like that.
Okay, so what we're looking at online here is pull that back up. That one. Yes. It's an electric Mason cordless vacuum sealer kit for wide mouth and regular mouth mason jars. Stop moving around, please.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that one said
Has it-
fermentating. This one says sealer. So
okay, and it's for fermentation or sealing Is that right?
yeah, and it looks just like that.
Okay.
Cool.
Hammer's fine for fermentation. I use an airlock for that.
Right.
For dry vacuum sealing, it's kind of like that little hose device with an extra lid, except you just use a regular
That's what we're talking
mason
about.
jar lid.
Okay.
And I get a chance, I'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Hold on.
Well, I know, because it's worth a shot.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I gotta push the pedal.
I know. I get excited because it's something new.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that because the one we're looking at, it's only $24.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Yeah, but do post it, the one that you have on the Facebook page
Yeah, because
for North Georgia.
I like, because you've already been using it and it works for you.
Right.
That is a better review than
Exactly. We like to talk to people that actually have used the product before
instead
we
of
buy
the,
it, you know.
the 3,000 reviews that's probably bought and paid for. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
441 global. Sure. Okay.
Mhm.
But yes, post it on Facebook for us.
Yes, please do.
And you tag one of us, Lisa or David Lummis, and we'll be able to check it out.
Definitely. Alrighty. Well, let's
Thank you,
see.
Richard.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you so much.
And Pamela has something.
Oh, Pamela, I'm sorry. I almost forgot about you, sister. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not a problem, girl. No problem. The question of bread, I didn't think to ask you, do you put yours in a freezer baggies or special ones or some container, and do you put like a whole loaf, or do you just drop it in like 3 or 4 slices at a time, or like the buns or something? And that was it. Thanks.
I would probably recommend.
I just throw the whole thing in there.
Well, that's you. Okay, so
Now-
here's a second opinion.
So if
I
it's
would
like hamburger
separate it.
buns, you're okay.
I would separate it, into, portions on how, depending on how much bread you use, just separate it into portions in.
Loaf of bread would be harder to break apart being frozen solid.
No,
So
you
it would be-
separate it before you freeze it.
No, agreed. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't throw a loaf of bread, sliced bread, in there because it would freeze solid and it would be harder to.
Yeah, I would separate it into portions, Pamela, and you should be good to go there. So, like anything else, if you want to put it in the freezer, what you can do is put it in a Ziploc bag, and then what you do is you don't seal the bag yet. What you do is you put it in I need a visual for this, but I don't have one. But I'm going to try and demonstrate this on YouTube. So you can go, if you're watching, you put it in a big bowl, fill a bowl of water, put the bread into the Ziploc bag, but don't seal the bag. You slowly lower the bag into the water, and then as you get to the top of the bag, all the air should be removed from the bag.
The water squeezes the air
The
out.
water squeezes the air out, and then you seal it, and then you lift it up, and it should be almost airtight, but it's not going to be because that's not foolproof. But that's one way to vacuum seal bread without squashing it.
Right.
So I hope I explained that understandably, because sometimes I go off the rails a little bit. So was that understandable, Pamela? I hope. Pamela? My pedal ain't working.
Oh.
Oh no. What's going on?
Yep.
Okay, what's going on here?
Hold on. All right, now that it just reset. Pamela, did you have anything else for us? There was a little bit of a delay there, so can you come back?
Okay, sorry about that. What I was saying is the thing about the bag with the put it in the water to get the air out. I'd never thought about that, but I could try it. And then I sometimes put like wax paper between things when I put them in the freezer, so it's easier to take apart when you take it out and they don't stick together. Is what I would probably do also.
Perfect.
So that was my thought. Also, I want to thank Lisa for the Lisa's taxi service and the nature we got to see along the trail with the little baby squirrels. That was quite interesting. We appreciate that little extra treat. Back to you.
Oh, I know. Weren't they just adorable? That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. So
yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep, that's I think that'll bring us to the end of it.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and close this down, and been a pleasure. Loved it. I loved doing the visuals. It's a lot of fun, which we haven't been able to do that before we were on YouTube, of course. So, but now we can. So this concludes the Rabbit Hole Net. We want to say thank you to all who participated, and to those who checked in and out, but stuck around to listen to the broadcast. And we had a total of 48 check-ins, including myself and Dave. We will now be returning the repeaters to normal operation. Please allow those who checked in to sign off before beginning any conversations. Thank you again, and as always, invest in precious metals, brass, and lead. Good night, everybody. This is Dallas 21, WRKT 728, and
this is Dallas 20, WRKT 728. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and good night.
We're clear.